starvation, all kinds of things.
So what's going to happen now?
Lord willing, if we're the elect, we're going to get beamed up and yeah, man, it's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy, man. Where the signs at? Where the signs at?
Chariot sign.
Chariot sign. Salaka. You know why this is in a lot of movies nowadays? These UFOs in a lot of movies nowadays? Because these directors have read these movies. And have read the Bible and they put it in the movies. Because this is what's going to save it. That's why there's so many sightings right now of this going on in the earth.
So Ezekiel saw the whirlwind.
Yeah, the whirlwind.
So he gave you a definition of
this is what the whirlwind was.
Chariot did, right?
This is what the cloud was. Exactly. It's the so-called UFO. Is what people call them. We know them. We're not unidentified to us. We identify them as the chariots of God. This is the vehicles that the angels and the Lord travel in. This is what's going to escape thermonuclear fire.
So you believe in the rapture?
Well, sort of, but not exactly.
Hold on. The Christians use that terminology.
Right.
Rapture just means to be caught up. It means to be snatched up.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, basically what's going to happen is
that's why I said
the Lord's going to actually cause them to come up and like they're going to beam me up, Scotty.
Yep.
That's what he's going to do to all his elect that's on the earth on that day.
Before this,
before the nuclear destruction,
yep.
He's going to have the skies covered with those vehicles. It's going to black out the sky. It's going to be dark. And they're going to be picking people up, the ones that's going to be saved, and others that the Lord is going to judge because they were wicked, they were sinful. He's going to shoot fire on them, laser. He's going to zap them.
We read that scripture in Revelation 18.
That's what's going to happen.
Revelation 18 and 4.
He's going to disintegrate them. The Lord who the world calls Jesus Christ. He's coming back to destroy people, man.
Yeah.
He's coming back to save people and destroy people.
Right.
Simultaneously.
We want to be the ones that get saved and not destroyed. Go ahead and read that.
Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people.
Beam me up into these chariots to escape the destruction.
That ye be not partakers of her sins."
Her sins are the destruction that's coming in World War III when America loses with those missiles. America's going to lose. You see, I don't know if you're watching the news right now, but Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin and different nations are talking about war. They're preparing for war right now. And America, through the Bible prophecy, loses this war. And all their kingdom, these people's kingdom right here, that's the devil the Bible speaks of in the flesh right there. That's them. That's the devil the Bible speaks of in the flesh. Right there. Edomites, right there. Their kingdom is going to fall simultaneously as all of this is happening. Keep going, bro.
That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her
Is this
plagues.
too heavy? It's too heavy? You receiving it?
Bro, it's like this here. I know what y'all saying, but I'm just sitting back just chilling, bro. I'm just gathering in the information that y'all spitting out.
That's good. That's good.
It ain't too deep, because I can go deeper than what you just said.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Let us just stay right here. Let us stay right here.
Because you lost me when you just, boom, all of a sudden, Adam and Eve. What happened before Adam and Eve?
We read
What
that.
is the mystery? What's the mystery of the Garden of Eden? Tell me the mystery.
The mystery of the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. The Bible don't tell you.
You see
the
that?
reason. Hold on. Finish reading what you're saying, bro. Then I'm going to ask you a question.
He gonna hit you with the knowledge.
You gonna hit me with that deep knowledge, huh?
I want to hear it.
Yeah, let's go.
You got the fire?
Yeah.
It says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven."
Hey, it's the spirit though. We was talking about this type of thing earlier, man.
But I want
the spirit reveals it,
no
man.
spirit of provision. Okay, bro. Just like you said, them dudes right there is Edomites or devils.
Right.
Okay, didn't your God tell you not to judge? I judge the people. It's not in there.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Y'all, we can judge people.
We are judged.
Hey, you a tall brother, man. Whether I think you're short, hey, you strong, man.
You know, first Corinthians 2 and 15.
You finish saying what you
No,
said, bro.
don't worry about it. You got it.
I mean, we can pull scriptures all day to prove that, you know, but I don't know if it'll mean anything to you if we was to pull it out.
It was done in Revelation.
I'm sensing what's happening right now. You have you're an older cat. You got the gray hairs. You see us, we're young men. So the fact that we're speaking things that you really never heard before, you hearing it from younger men, you're taking that and acting as if we really, we shouldn't be
you.
telling you
I
this.
know.
You feel that you know more because you're an older man.
But it's true. You should know more though.
In the Bible, it
Well,
tells you that knowledge
why
is gonna
did you
get
say, when I
poured
said what you said, well, I could go even
I
deeper
could-
than
yeah,
what you
because
just
the
said.
reason
You
is
never even heard the
there's-
words that I'm speaking to, you never even heard before.
out. How you know that?
You heard it before?
We're not teaching you something new right now.
internet. I done
Okay.
listened to y'all on the internet.
Oh, so you've
Okay.
been listening.
Okay.
Exactly. So
Okay.
what I'm asking is, let's finish your statement, bro.
Now that was it.
Okay, now mine is this. Okay, if you said the devil and them didn't come down here to earth, how did the earth get with all this going? Demons and all this.
We gotta
Something because in the garden, Adam and Eve was good.
Okay.
They were doing what God said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what tempted them and what happened to them to go
I can
that
read
way
it.
to put the fig leaves on to find out that they was naked?
I can read it. I can literally read it.
No, it was
We talking
well,
about
That's what they said.
no,
The
not
serpent.
naked, literally.
The
The serpent,
which was a man.
man.
He was
He
one
was
of the Adams.
he was a man that with a slick, cunning,
Yeah, it was
subtle
describing his-
nature.
Like a
his
snake.
Like a
his
snake.
characteristics.
That's a snake ass
Somebody
nigga over there.
they'll charm you, but they
Yeah.
can deceive you at the same
Yeah.
time. That's who the serpent was.
Get
He was a man that did that.
word.
What is the word devil?
Smooth and butter.
You know what? Do you
Yeah.
understand what the word devil even
What
means?
does it mean?
The word devil is from the Greek word diablos,
The Diablo?
which means deceiver or false accuser.
Yep.
Somebody that can't speak the truth. They gotta lie all the time.
Yep.
Deception. They use deception, and they're skillful at it.
Yeah.
He was able to seduce Eve and tell her, hey, what your God said, don't worry about that. You gonna live. You ain't gonna die if you eat up that tree.
Yep.
You be as gods, knowing both good and evil, if you learn from this tree.
And for the camera, can I say this for
Okay.
the camera? As we was talking about earlier, that was part of the purpose of everything going on. Okay? It wasn't all a lie, but there was a lie that came with that, which is the part that they wouldn't die. They did. We began to die faster and faster from that point on. But we would become like angels knowing good and evil through this process. But I don't want to go too heavy. I just was doing that for those that know, you know, but you can see what I'm saying anyway, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you thought Adam and Eve were naked, actual naked?
They had
Said-
clothes on.
No, there wasn't.
They had clothes on.
That's a.
It was all figurative.
Let me get a precept. Exodus 32 and 24. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. You remember Moses?
Yeah.
He went on top of Mount Sinai, and when it was on top of Mount Sinai, these people created that golden calf,
Right.
that other god. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, were they actually naked?
Without a leader, but without a head, without guidance.
For Aaron made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. So being naked means they worshiped other gods. They wasn't worshiping the Most High. They wasn't literally naked.
Meaning their unfruitful works were exposed.
Yes.
That's what that means.
Their wicked works, the paganistic wicked works were being exposed. They were in sin.
Yep. Because what was on that tree that Adam and Eve had? What kind of tree was that? That God told Adam not to touch, and Adam told Eve not to touch. What kind of tree was that?
Tree of knowledge, right?
Tree of knowledge of good and evil. They wasn't supposed to mess with that tree. But when the serpent told them about that tree, and Eve went to go touch into that tree, she didn't go pluck a fruit off the tree. He told her something that she shouldn't have known from that tree.
So when
For
she
philosophy.
ate that, so when she ate
For
that,
philosophy.
when she ate
Hey,
that,
food for
I'm
the
gonna
soul.
give you a quick rundown with that.
hold on.
Hold on,
Hey,
devil.
when
Hold
she
on,
ate
devil.
that,
That was a
apple,
devil right there.
how did she conceive? How did she get pregnant? How did she have two?
Yeah, Adam put seed in her.
But he gonna put a good and evil?
No, you're talking about the serpent. Listen. It
How
wasn't,
does
I'm
the
telling you, it was a philosophy. It was if
Philosophy
I
can't
tell
get
you,
you pregnant.
listen. She didn't get pregnant like that. He actually lay with her and had Adam, Cain and Abel. They actually had sex and had Cain and Abel. Yeah,
And who lay with him?
Adam.
Adam.
So how can he have two seeds? A good seed and a bad seed?
Because
So,
that's the way it
so
was.
you can't have, so a man can't have two kids, and one is wicked and
There-
the
there-
other
there-
is
there's not
righteous?
nothing called twins.
serious,
There's
bro?
nothing called
No,
twins and
bro.
triplets and quadruplets and
You- you-
quintuplets
see,
on
so-
earth.
Okay, you got
Nigga,
triplets, but how is it gonna be that
Twins, fraternal twins. But even if they
But
were,
still, yeah,
look,
no.
even if they were
Hold on,
identical,
hold
let me
on,
tell you, even
hold
if they
on.
were identical, even if they were identical twins, they don't have the same exact mind.
Right.
They don't. They think they're two separate people.
But then again,
This is not getting through.
hold on, hold on, bro. But hold
Close,
on.
but it's on the wrong
Hold on,
side.
bro.
Close.
If me and you produce us, we twins.
Right.
Okay? In my brain, I kill him. I'm mad at him. We still got blood. How did blood just disappear?
No,
We
actually-
started at
he
self.
literally- He
We
literally
We started with self down here now.
Right. But no,
We still
you
blood
missed
line.
that part. You actually killed me and killed me to death.
Okay, I
My
killed you,
blood's
but I
flowing.
steal your blood.
Right. But you shouldn't have did that to me. So now he put a curse on you, and you are already a wicked spirit. You are already a wicked spirit. That's how it happened. I was
So
a
if
good
I'm a
spirit.
wicked spirit, then I wouldn't have no blood.
Yes, you get
Man.
You a man.
Yeah,
You got
Jake is-
flesh.
Oh,
Ooh.
man.
Hey,
But
Wait,
it's
wait,
true
wait.
from
man,
the
what you
outcome.
talking,
You
man?
just can't say. You just can't say, well, his bloodline has to.
The spirit is
bro.
different than the
It's
blood.
Bloodline.
Are there evil
Yeah,
people in
it's
the
not- it's
world?
not for us.
Yes, exactly.
And this is an example of why we don't. We gotta see.
This is-
but
this
it's
is
not,
why,
bro.
man.
It's
This is
true,
why.
But if we still
It's not for you, man.
and me,
It's too.
I'm
Hey,
still your blood.
Yeah, but
it's not for you to
eliminate the whole
understand, man.
bloodline.
You're struggling on the basis, my man.
You
You're
got
struggling on like what was we going into
That's
before?
what I'm saying.
All right, y'all have a.
The natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit, man. For they are foolishness unto.
Hey, let him go, bro. Let him go.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, you an Israelite, man. We'll see you on the other side, man. You an Israelite.
That's what I'm saying.
You an Israelite, man.
that's a good thing.
See, let him go. Let him go. Hey, Deuteronomy 28 and the curses.
The curses, man.
That's the curses.
Now
You call him an Israelite. That's a.
A proverb in the Bible.
Yeah, that's
they
it.
prefer to be called a
Yeah.
proverb.
I just called him something negative.
Now, if he was like, you a nigga, you would be like, yeah, I know I'm a
We'd be like,
nigga.
all right, my nigga. We'd be like, yeah, all right, then, my nigga.
All right, black man.
You know?
Right.
We're happy about that. Hey, the condition of
Bugged
our
out.
people is sad.
Bugged out,
man. And but he was so close,
Yeah, we was
asking
talking
good
about
questions.
naked. We was talking about naked.
Yeah. He was like, you see him getting it, but
Yeah,
he
he
was
didn't
so
know
close.
that.
But he was on the wrong side of close.
No, bro.
Then I can't get it close.
That angel was.
He was like, no, but wait,
Yeah.
wait, I can see.
All over his ass.
No, it ain't for you. It ain't for you.
It ain't for him, man. You know?
But he was asking good questions, but he just couldn't understand the answers. But see, the problem was he had that other philosophy of this Babylon. He had Babylon juice all over.
That was in the cup.
He was sipping Babylon.
Where's that scripture where it says,
Smoking Babylon weed and shit. Yeah.
for a man that's not of, when he doesn't have understanding, he try to put it behind, it's in the Apocrypha.
Yeah.
I think it's in the Ecclesiasticus. Basically, it's the same scripture that says a wise man will add unto.
The third chapter?
He will
Is that the third chapter?
Yep.
21?
Yep.
Read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 21 and 15.
Well, start at 14. Because basically, every time it seemed like he was about to start getting it,
Yeah.
it seemed like it would just fall right back out.
Yeah.
Like he would lose track every time.
First thing you said about him, can't put new wine into an old bottle. And when the apostle Gabar, I believe, broke that down, it was that flagging, right? But when you have that fresh wine, you pour it into the bag, and it ages with the bag. Well, once you pour that out, you can't put new wine back in that bag because it's gonna bust the seams. But that's what was happening to him. We tried to put it in there. He wanted to accept it, but his seams started busting. Everything that he had grown to be a man about began to fall apart. He can't start over. That man can't hit the newborn babe stage again.
And then he's trying to seek out things that's too high for.
Yeah, you gotta start with the
Scriptures
milk.
tell you not to do that.
Yep.
Search
Everything
not out
we
the things that are
talked
too
about
high, too hard for thee.
Everything we talked about
Yeah.
today, he was rolled up in that. This is what we was talking about with the
All
examples that
day,
show up.
that
Good
example,
to fake
the
up.
Lord reveals examples every time, man.
Yeah.
You know, He always sends a physical example, man.
Yep.
You know,
We were long suffering, probably too. I'm always too long suffering. I am. You know.
I'll be dismissed them. Really, early on, I saw him come up. I didn't even want to deal with it. I wanted to deal with the other Jake that was
That's a
there.
good question.
You know, and he knew a little more. You know, but that guy, I knew he wasn't gonna get it from the get go. You walk away when we breaking something down,
Right.
and then you come back,
and missed
out on everything, and then you asking
Pick
questions and pick up like,
Like,
dude.
like we didn't say nothing because you
Yeah.
didn't hear it. We just didn't say nothing about that.
Yeah, that demon.
And he felt like he already had it. Like I know more than these young cats anyway. So
Right. That demon ran the other guy away.
Yeah,
Right.
that was somewhat sincere.
Yeah.
No, the other guy had to know. He
Yeah.
just seemed like, nah, we got-
I don't know if he's gonna come back or not.
Probably not.
He ran the other guy away. You know?
Probably not.
So there you go. All right, let me start this. Ecclesiasticus 21 to 14. The inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel, and he will hold no knowledge as long as he lives.
that's that bottle. That's that old bottle, man. He was a fool, man. We couldn't help him no matter what we said or what scripture we could go to. It just wouldn't register.
As I like to say, if you don't know not to smoke cigarettes, you never gonna get this word. If you don't know not to smoke those truth commercials, you don't know the truth of what cigarettes do to you, or don't care, you're never gonna get the care and discipline and truth of this word. There's no chance of that. The spirit of a cigarette is never gonna let you accept that. You gotta completely erase that and get rid of that completely off your spirit. Yahweh has to do that for you. Before you
It's
can
more
get
than
this
just cigarettes. I think that.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. That's the evidence he sat there and wrote. Going, I need a cigarette to understand. You ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, you ain't.
He wrote a naked cigarette, or whatever they call them. No filter.
He's all bugged up.
Verse 15.
Hey, let him get him. That's his natural. That's what he do naturally. That's the Neanderthal, the other dude talking about.
It's 104 degrees out.
Yeah. That's what he do.
No shoes.
That's what he's comfortable like that. Or whatever y'all got.
Verse 15. If a skillful man hear a wise word, he will command it and add unto it.
Yep.
But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it,
Like that old bottle food.
He wanted it so bad, so you can see he wanted it.
it displeaseth him, and he casteth
When
it.
you cut Salaki, when you called him out, it's like, man, you know I can go deeper than you. Man, what did it become about you? He humbled down quick, far down. You go ahead and he was cool with that. He wasn't a nigga like that,
Right.
but he wasn't meant to get it either.
No, he wasn't.
You got it out.
It displeaseth him, and he casteth it behind his back.
He was mad he couldn't get it. He kept trying to, because he kept trying to mix it with what he thought he already knew. He wasn't speaking everything that was trying to connect in his own mind. But when something didn't connect, then he'd ask that question. We throw that down. Then it was already leading to something. This is why the apostles tell you can't have them other doctrines. You got to have the 100% doctrine. You can't have them other them false breakdowns of the scriptures. Because the 100%
And
truth
we was going into
ties in.
meat. This guy is asking about meat when he should be inquiring about the milk,
Yep.
even though he's an older dude.
Yep. It's time for him to be teachers.
Why are you worrying about
one teach him again?
about the serpent and
Forefathers.
asking about
when they come
asking
from-
all these type of questions? That's like, dude, do you understand the basic understanding of these scriptures?
No.
Why would Cain? Why would Adam and Eve have like, dude, like, the fuck are you talking about, man?
Is any of this about salvation?
It's trivial. It's trivial, man.
Yeah.
It's really not that important, man. I don't know if he was asking those questions to try to question the Bible. I don't know.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, he told what it was. He had been watching, he heard it, and he probably wasn't watching Great Millstone. He probably watching one of these other camps that don't go deep into prophecy, that go into the whole Israelite thing, how probably black Hebrew Israelite groups or something he watched. And he thought he could just come up and deal with the Great Millstone. It don't work that way, man. We're too high level for that. We expect you to be on a certain level when you show up here. I mean, you've watched videos, you've humbled down, you begin fasting and praying and doing all those things first to get the understanding, till you get a general foundation where you're weaning from the milk. If you're not waiting for the milk, man, don't come up to a GMS camp. Keep watching until it's for you. Once you know that, okay, I know everything, oh, they're going to this, then you show up and you ask questions. When we're not answering your questions, then you show up and ask questions pertaining to salvation. You can ask them other questions, or you'll get them other answers, but you need to be asking pertaining to salvation.
Yeah, it wasn't going to go nowhere with it, you know. And I mean, of course, if we engage in, whether we don't want to engage or not, we got to keep the edification going.
Right.
So that's
There's
why
still a camera
we chose to still entertain him, even though we knew he wasn't going to get it, you know. So, hey, that was beautiful. The Most High showed a clear example of what we was going into today.
That's right.
That's why you got to be taught all over again. You got to be born again. You gotta understand that you really don't know nothing. This world will bug you the hell out, man.
And he set men up to give you the edification on that. We gotta destroy all that other madness out of you and then rebuild you up in strongholds throughout it, and then we gotta build you back up. And so that's what our job, that's what we're out here to do. It's to tear you down, to cut you down, to get all the BS out of you, to purify you, and then to build you up. And then the experience will do the rest.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's, you know, we can wrap up with that. All right, we're going to close. We're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Arakakadash, double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, Shalom, Wa Barakatuh.
Come on.